Yo, what is up, everybody? It's Riley's Redzone here, back with another game pick video. I try to make this every week. Last week I went 9-5, which isn't terrible. It's not great, but I guess you could do worse than that. So this week I'm here to predict every Week 11 game. So let's start off with the Titans-Ravens. Ravens currently favored by 6. I think that I thought it was a little high at first there because Titans have not been looking good the past few weeks. They started on fire on the season, and then they kind of, the train has fallen off the track at this point. I don't know what's really going on there. They just haven't been getting, Derrick Henry is an amazing player. I just don't really know what's going on there, why they were so good, now they're really struggling. So this feels like a trap game, though. It really does. Obviously the rematch of last year's playoffs. I think I'm going to take the Ravens, though. I think it's going to be a very good game. I definitely could see this going either way, but I'm going to take the Ravens. I'm not super confident on that one, but I think I'm going to take the Ravens. Then we have the Lions-Panthers. The Lions are favored by 1.5. I'm actually going to disagree with that. I think that the Panthers should be favored in this one. They're at home, so I'm going to take the Panthers. I think Teddy B has, he banged up kind of here, but I think they've still been doing very well. If they can get DJ Moore going and Mike Davis in the absence of Christian McCaffrey, that would be key for them. So I'm going to take the Panthers in technically a upset here. So then I've got the Steelers and the Jags. The Jags fought in there last week against the Packers. They did a lot better than most people expected. But the Steelers are still undefeated, and I think that's still too much for them, to be honest. And they're favored by 10.5, so I think I'm going to take the Steelers here. They've been looking very good. Then we have the Patriots-Texans. This is interesting. I was a huge Patriot believer early in the season. I really thought they were the best team in the AFC East. That has not been the case so far, but last week they beat the Ravens, but then again, it was kind of in, the weather was in their favor. Bill Belichick's the best coach, so he can really do anything in any weather, any condition, anything like that. So he kind of had the perfect situation there, and plus, when Lamar can't throw it more than 15 yards at the end of the game in sloppy rain, that's going to help you win the football game. The Patriots are favored by 2. This definitely feels like a trap game. I feel like we've seen it so many times this year. A team does really well, and then the next week they just don't. So I could see this going to the Texans. They're at home, but I think I'm going to take the Patriots still, favored by 2. But this should be a good one. And then we have the Eagles-Browns. Once again, I think the Browns are still a little overrated, but got to hand it to them. They're getting some wins, and I'm also shocked with how many wins they have that they're only favored by 3 to beat the Eagles. That's very interesting to me. They've got Nick Chubb back. I think that's huge for them. They just need to maybe get this passing game going a little better, in my opinion. Jarvis Landry's not been doing enough in the offense to really do anything productive. So I'm very interested to see why they only have them favored by 3. So I'm taking the Browns in this one. Once again, I definitely believed in the Eagles more than the Browns going into the season, but now that we're here, I'm going to take the Browns. Then we have Falcons-Saints. I'm taking the Saints. They started off, and what's interesting is they got Michael Thomas back, and since then they've been pretty good. They haven't really thrown to him, to be honest. Like, he hasn't done a whole lot. As a person that drafted him in 3 fantasy leagues. It might have been 2, but I'm in like 4 or 5, and I picked him in 2 or 3. I've been very disappointed, so I know his stats very well, and he's not putting up a whole ton in this offense, but even his presence being there is really important. So I think their offense has been a lot more productive. Now, the thing is, though, Drew Brees not in today. Taysom Hill. We'll see what happens here. I definitely thought it was going to be Jameis, but we'll see if Taysom Hill can do something here. I think it's his opportunity, let's say, to really get something going. I'm interested to really see how creative Sean Payton gets with this offense. So I'm super excited to see what Taysom Hill can do. But I think I'm still going to take them, even though that kind of hinders their offense. I think I'm going to take the Saints in that one. And then we have the Washington football team is favored by 1.5 against the Cincinnati Bengals. And as a person that's picked Washington many times this year, I've learned just you can't pick for them. I have learned recently, like last week, I took the Lions, luckily. That was very close. I almost took the football team, and the Lions still won. Early in the season, I even took them on an upset against the Browns. Didn't happen. I've just learned that they could easily win, but I think in Alex Smith, they did what I asked for. If you go back a few weeks ago, I said Kyle Allen is not the perfect starter for you. I would be starting Haskins or Alex Smith, and Alex Smith unfortunately took an injury for Kyle Allen, but you see the production that Alex Smith is putting up, so that is great to see. He should definitely be a candidate for Comeback Player of the Year. Then, so I'm taking the Bengals, though, even though after all saying that, Joe Burrow is great. The offensive line has not been great, but I think they pull off the upset here. Their receivers, T. Higgins is doing super well this year. That was a great pick for them. Definitely didn't think he was going to do this much in his first year. So, definitely, I want to make sure I pick the Bengals here, but want to give credit to the football team. They're doing some things right. I like Alex Smith, but besides that, they have not been good. Then we have the Dolphins and the Broncos. Dolphins favored by 3.5. That seems about right, to be honest. Tua, as a fellow left-hander, I'm super excited to watch Tua. He's probably going to be one of my favorite players now for the next few years. I also liked Ryan Tannehill when he was on the Dolphins, so that's kind of cool. It carries on. I, for some reason, like Dolphins quarterbacks. But I think they win again today. They've got them on a roll. The Broncos, unfortunately, this year just have too many injuries, honestly. And then Drew Lock has not been good as well. It's a combo factor there. Just overall, the injuries, Von Miller, Cortland Sutton, it was Drew Lock for a while, and other players. And then now Drew Lock is back, and he's just not doing very well, and then he gets hurt again, so now they have to, I think, start Brett Rippon possibly. Too many injuries for the Broncos, so I'm taking the Dolphins. And then we have the New York Jets. They are the worst team in football by far, and they're playing the Chargers, so I'm taking the Chargers. Now, Justin Herbert with his new haircut, we'll see how that turns out here, but Herbert has been playing spectacular this season, but just can't seem to catch a win. They always seem to lose these one-possession games over and over again, and it's very disappointing to see for how well he's playing. So, hopefully they can pull one off today. I mean, if they don't beat the Jets, that's concerning to me. So, I'm taking the Chargers in that one. And then we have the Packers and the Colts, and I am reading that right. The Packers are not favored in this matchup. I know that the Colts are okay. They're good. They're at home. But I can't believe the Packers are not favored in this game. They almost lost technically last week. I mean, they definitely didn't play like what we thought they would against Jacksonville, but for them to not be favored against the Colts, there's two teams. There's three. There's three teams this year that I think are a little overrated in the AFC. There's the Browns, and then the Raiders I think are a little overrated, and then I think the Colts are the other one. So I personally am gonna hammer, like I'm saying it right now, the Packers I think win that game. That's my upset for sure. I guess it's an upset pick, but I'm very shocked by that, honestly. So I think Aaron Rodgers has a great day. I think they get the win, so I'm very shocked that they are not favored in that matchup. So I'm taking the Packers over the Colts. And then we have the Cowboys, Vikings, and as you can tell, I am a Vikings fan. You have to be a fan of some team. I am going to take them this week. And don't worry, there's not much bias in it. And honestly, it's just for my sake if I were to pick them and then lose. But I've picked against them many times. Gotten some right and some wrong with that. Picked them against the Packers both times. But today I think they get a win. The Cowboys, just their quarterback situation has not been great. Garrett Gilbert looked okay, but I think Andy Dalton is coming back to be the starter. He did not look great when he was in, but it's just concerning. And the Vikings, we've learned now, you need to go to Dalvin Cook, and if you don't, we're going to lose. That's the game right there. That's basically the Minnesota Vikings. And then you want to throw it to Justin Jefferson every once in a while. That's about what they do. That's it. I am interested, honestly, this is a side note, but whether the Vikings were supposed to wear their awesome color rush jerseys because it was primetime purple, but they moved them out of the primetime spot because, yeah, that's a not good game, I guess. You know, like, these are two below average teams record-wise, but the Vikings are making a run here, so this should be an interesting game to watch, but I think the Vikings pull off the win. They're favored by 7, maybe much, to be honest. Maybe a little high there, but I am going to take the Vikings. And then we've got the Chiefs-Raiders. I'm taking the Chiefs for the Sunday night game here. This is very interesting. Like I said, I think the Raiders are a little overrated, to be honest, so I'm going to take the Chiefs here. Their offense is just spectacular, so I'm taking the Chiefs in that matchup. And finally, Derek Carr has been looking okay. Let me say that. But Derek Carr is actually doing okay, but I think the Chiefs win this game 100%. And then we have the Rams-Bucks. This should be a very good one. I'm really this is interesting. This is probably the most difficult game of the day, to be honest. So we've got the Rams. They just pulled off an upset against the Seahawks, so they are really good. And we also have the Bucks, who didn't do well that night against the Saints, but then they absolutely blew out the Panthers last week. So what do I do here? They're at home. This is probably my least confident pick, whichever side I'm going to go with. I'm honestly already redebating my pick right now. I think I'm going to go with the Rams. This is a feeling that I have. They are favored to lose by 4. This is not what I was expecting to pick, but you know what? I'm just having a feeling here. This is my bold prediction of the week. The Rams beat the Bucks, which, according to the spread, that's a pretty big prediction. So I'm going to take that right there. I'm going to pick the Rams over the Bucks. I'm going to be confident in my decision here. Sometimes you need to take some shots. You need to take chances and try to get these upset pick games correct. If you don't take any upsets, you know some are going to happen. It's just you need to pick the right ones. It has gotten me in trouble the past weeks here when I take an upset and then it doesn't happen. You know, then it's like, oh, you should have just taken the favorite. But you know what? If you don't take anything, it's like, oh, you're just picking the favorite. So you got to take some chances. And also it can turn out in your favor if these happen. So, my confident picks that are like my personal opinions today. Number 1, Packers over Colts. I mean, I'm just going to say that here for the end of the video. I may be completely wrong, but I'm saying for sure the Packers beat the Colts today. That's probably the biggest shocker I had while recording this video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm currently working on the next film breakdown. I have everything kind of cut up, and I'm starting to record it. It will be for Alabama quarterback Mac Jones. So if you watch this video, I've already got a sneak peek of who it is for the next one, and then I'll keep going after I've already got some more requests for it. But comment down below which picks did you agree with and which did you disagree with, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.